Are here in front of what was the home of Miss Donette Loftus. Her house was totally destroyed in the hurricane, and now where the house was is now flooded by overnight rains. The general overview of Southeast Clarendon is that it was terribly affected. In other words, the severity of the damage is far more than what I have observed in other areas. And that is because of several complicating factors. First of all, the issue of drainage. This part of Jamaica, the Southeast Clarendon, and indeed the coast of Clarendon coming around, is at or below sea level. And therefore, it makes it almost impossible to have proper drainage. And it is almost an inevitability that with even mild rainfall, you will have flooding. And so the residents here, in addition to having lost their roofs and seeing houses totally destroyed, such as this one, they have to contend with flooding. In addition to which, the economy of Southeast depends heavily on fishing. And all the fishing villages have been destroyed, the boats have been destroyed, and so that is another dimension of the impact. Of course, the residents are also dealing with what everybody else is dealing with, the loss of electricity. But there appears to be a greater incidence of down poles in this constituency. And as I have driven through, we have seen many down poles. And of course, where there is no electricity, there is also the likelihood that there will be no water, and indeed the residents have no water. So the residents here are impacted severely. The government will therefore be mobilizing very rapidly to assist very rapidly. So we are already mobilized, we are already assisting those persons who are in shelters, and I witnessed the mobilization of support there, but the mobilization to help those persons who are in need but not in shelters, that has also begun. And we will increase the level of support because as I drove around, it was quite clear that the needs are great. So the instant help with tarpaulins, with water supply, small packets, care packets that would have water and food. And we do have a plan to return potable water through the pipes, so that we hope to have effected within a few days. So the residents are, of course, like everyone else, inconvenienced. They are, many of them, upset and angry. But the truth is, they are still of high spirit. They are still hopeful. And what I like to see is that they are helping themselves. As I drove around, I saw many persons putting on their roofs and just trying to get back to normal. And I always have to mention this because in a crisis, the most dangerous thing would be for the citizenry to say, I'm waiting on the government. The government is going to act, but you also have what I like to call agency, the ability to help yourself. And that is really what the core of Jamaica is. It is our self reliance and resilience and the independence that we so much love and desire. So, my assessment is that yes, the people are really distraught at what has happened, but they do maintain a good spirit and a good mood. And the government has to support that, work with that, and bring support as quickly as possible so that we can recover. A couple of things that I would want to point out as we close, as the rain is coming down. We're early in the hurricane season. It is quite likely that we will be impacted by other weather events. So the way in which the government plans to go about the relief effort is we are going to do it in mind that there could be other events coming in the season. So it can't be totally short term. We also have to think medium term in how we deliver relief. So there are some things that we're going to do, particularly as it relates to the reconstruction of roofs, right? So it's not going to be good enough to just tack on back some zincs onto the roofing. We're going to have to figure out ways to ensure that those roofs that we do, that they are properly done. And the other thing is, I have noticed a lot of misinformation. People getting information from other sources which are not accurate, which are not true, and which lead to misunderstanding and over expectations. I urge you, don't listen to anybody who come to you and say, you know, we're going to send something for you tomorrow or something is going to come, unless it comes from an official source. That is, you hear the news on our traditional media, on the GIS, on our pages, or from the official authorities. Please rely on official information. So the rain is coming, and we have had a long day. Now, your house can't be allowed to stay like this, and I really feel it for you. So between myself and your member of parliament, who happens to be the Minister of Social Security, we will ensure that you have real assistance towards not just the repair of your house, but to have a better structure erected.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.